Jazzie, homegirl, and we are live. We are back. This is Talk About It Tuesday, and I wanted to make sure that I came on here just so you can see this gorgeous face. Actually, I wanted to come over and talk about it on Tuesday. And just because I love this tune, let me bring you in properly. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. I missed you guys. Call somebody and
Baby, 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 you mean so much to me.
all right. We're back. And baby, you guys mean so much to me. Anyway, this is Voting Tuesday, Voting Day Tuesday, Voting Day Tuesday. I don't know how many of you were able to get out and vote, but I'm hoping that you did. Hey, what happened to my mic? Anyway, I'm hoping that you got out and voted because listen, this thing is serious, y'all. And we always tend to wait until we're voting for the prez. We wait till the presidential election before we um, really get out and vote. But guys, I have said it so many times when I was on Loudmouth Radio that it is this election. It is, for the councilmen, it's for the, uh, your superintendents, all your local people matter. If we wait until we get to the big deal, I'm telling you, we're going to be mad. We're going to be upset. We're going to be saying, oh, they shoulda, coulda, woulda. And in actuality, we didn't. And that is the problem. That's the problem. We don't get out and do our part. I rode my bike today, and a lot of you guys saw on Facebook um, that I posted that I was out riding my bike, right? Let me get close to you. Let me get close. Let me see, could I get close? I want you to know. Hey, oh, we're looking good. Anyway, so today I was out riding my bike and I, because I don't have a car right now, right? I got to get another car. That's a whole nother story for another day. But nevertheless, so I'm out riding the bike and kudos to my body. Body, you did good. You did good because this week has been a really, really painful week. And many of you know I have fibromyalgia. Those that are just coming to know this So Jazzy Homegirl, I live with fibromyalgia and she kicks in whenever she feels like. Hold on, let me get a drink. I forgot to tell y'all to go get a drink. Go get your favorite drink. Grab your favorite beverage. I'm drinking some ginger tea because after being out in the rain, which is what I want to talk about. So by any means necessary. I needed to get close to say that. By any means necessary, I was going to get out to vote today. That was just, if I had to crawl, that's how that was going to go down. And I posted a picture from 1965 of a long line of people voting, waiting to vote in the rain. And it was predominantly in the front of this picture were a lot of women. And it made me think about my mother. And yesterday I was really, really missing her. But I remember when she would take us to vote, right? My younger brother and I was with her at the house at that time. And she would dress up, honey. Listen, going to the bank, going to vote, going to pay bills, it was a thing. You didn't just show up in your rags. You didn't show up, after you had been sweating in the garden all day or, taking the trash out. You went and got it all the way together. So I yesterday I said I'm gonna go vote. I'm gonna dress up like my mom. I'm gonna wear a scarf. I'm gonna do the whole 1965 look. Honey, it rained today in Southern California. Somebody lied with that song. Somebody lied because it rained. The wind was crazy. It was raining hard, and I had to ride the bike. I had to ride my bike, okay? But it made me think about that picture, and it made me look at all of the women wearing high heels or even a heel, and all of the men dressed up in suits and ties, and how uncomfortable that must have been to have on that much clothes or to wear those kind of heels in the rain while you waited, hoping you were going to be treated fairly to vote. And it made me think, Jazzy, you don't have an excuse. You do not have an excuse for all of the people that went before you, all of the people who sacrificed so you could vote. You got to go vote, girl. That's how that's going to work. And so, my body, honey, one more time for a pat on the back. Jazzy, your body handled that thing today because I rode about a little bit over 8 miles. Mm-hmm. So I rode to go vote. And then, honey, I had to go see Mr. T or Mrs. T Mobile, whoever you want to call her, or non gender specific T Mobile. Baby, my phones and internet have been crazy. So if you have been trying to get me in any number of my businesses, you know, trucking, on vacation, 24/7 travel, if you have been trying to find a home and you have, because I have a couple of customers, clients who have um, started the search for their home. I'm so proud. But anyway, whoever, however, if you have not been able to get me, I've been posting as much as I can in and out when the internet would allow. And so I had to just finally show up with T-Mobile. Was in there for hours, okay, wet from riding the bike, another 3.5 miles to get to T-Mobile. But honey, I did it. The whole point is I had an excuse. I really did. But I had a reason, but I had no excuse. I got out, I voted, I handled my phone. My phone's in my iPad, and hopefully all is well. And if it's not, we will ride that bike again when my body says we can go do that. Anyway, I hope you went out and voted. I hope that you exercised your right to make changes, not only for your life, but for our community. We have a responsibility not only for ourselves, but we do have a responsibility for our local and our global community. I am a travel advisor, and when we're going or when I'm going somewhere in another country, I don't take my Americanism unless it's for the positive. But I don't take this whole, this should be and that should be. When I'm going into a global community, how can I honor that global community? What can I do to make it better? So we have a responsibility, to me, at least in my opinion, we have a responsibility to our local and our global community. I'm hearing a little pop pop. Let me bring this up a little bit. Let's make sure is that better? Can y'all hear me better? Anyway, so I got out, I did that. I'm very proud. Um, Normally I do a real in-depth research of the candidates because I don't want to just be a representative of my party, and I'm not going to tell you who my party is. I just wore the color. So you do, you do the math. We'll figure that out. But anyway, so I had to do a quick research because I've been so crazy getting back from Greece. Many of you know I traveled to Greece. Had to do some research for some clients that want to go to Greece. And so I'm actually putting together a cruise as well as a land trip for next year for Greece. But anyway, and I'll be posting all about that. Oh my God, it was fabulous. But I digress. So I had to do a really quick research on my candidates again because I had been following, and then I kind of got sidetracked with a lot of businesses and still being new in California. So I'm still learning my local, um, my local selected officiants. So as soon as I get my wheels again, hopefully very, very soon here, I will be doing some meet and greets and learning who the people that are representing my area, and not only just my area, my state, and how I can fit in because I was very active in Georgia. Missed that, honey. This is one of the times I almost went back to Georgia, got my ID in Georgia again, voted. Yes, indeed. Voted in Georgia and then came back here, changed everything out. But that just was a little bit too much. So I am counting on Georgia specifically to do the right thing for all people, not just a few. Hold on, let me get a little sip. Just take a few seconds and get you a sip too. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that was so good. Anyway, I love ginger tea. Y'all see my mug? I hate the people who are listening via podcast only and can't see my mug. I'll post a picture so you guys can see that. But you can follow me on Instagram. I'll post it, and that way you'll be able to see your girl on the So Jazzy Homegirl Instagram page. And oh, did I just burp? Is that what happened? Was that a little indigestion? Let me get a little sip. Hold on. Mm. Okay. But anyway, so that was my day, being able to exercise my right to vote, my right to have a voice and an opinion. And y'all, let me tell you, it's a lot of stuff that's happening in our states and in our community that we specifically need to, we need to do something about it. I had this guy, let me tell you, when I was at my voting at my polling station. A brother walked up to me, and when I say brother, I mean a brown brother, black brother, American, African American brother, however you want to call the brother stepped up to me and he said he was going in the wrong side. And he says, "Is this where we're supposed to vote?" I said, "Yes, it is." I said, "But it's on the other side. You have to go that way." He said, "It just," and he was shaking his head and looking at me, for confirmation. And he goes, "It's really sad that we don't know where to vote. A lot of times we got to find our way." And I said, it is a little bit different. It used to be, a lot of people got out on the streets and you knew, I mean, you just really had no question about where you were supposed to vote. And I said, "Well, that is true." I said, "But you know what? Let me tell you what to do the next time." I said, "Next time, get out early, find out where it is." I said, "And not only do you find out, but then you get out and tell other people like you're saying to me right now, so they'll know where to vote." And all he could do was just kind of put his thumb up like, "Yeah, I stuck my foot in my mouth on that one." And I'm saying that to say is we have to be the change. We say it all the time. We say these cliches. We say these little things that we want people to agree with us on, high five us on. But at the end of the day, we have to be the change. If he wants people to know where the polling station is that may or may not know, honey, we have to get out and do that. So that's what I'm saying about, for me, it's important for me to know what's going on in my community and being able to be a part of the change that I want to see in California. California is doing some amazing things, but we got a long way to go too in things that can be done better for our people. And when I say our people, I mean all people. Definitely, we are a people that are put in a group that are oftentimes treated unfairly. We just really are. But when it comes down to democracy as a whole, all of us need to have justice. All of us need to have equality. All of us need to be in a position where we can live and love, right? And we can accomplish the American dreams because why we are American. And so I'm hoping that we'll all continue to pull together in these type of things when it's time for us to make a difference. And voting helps us to make a difference. And some of you may not believe that. Listen, when I was in the ninth grade, I ran for freshman class president. And honey, y'all at Durham High, y'all remember I was a writing candidate. Remember I got to skip class and go and do my campaigning door to door because I was writing. Because we had two guys, I don't even remember their name, but they didn't take it seriously. For me, I was serious about what can I do to change things on the campus for the freshmen. I was a freshman class president, and we came in strong, 500 deep. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Shout out to Durham High School in Durham, North Carolina. Or Mr. John Thompson was our president. He was our Black Bolson's honey. Yes. Anyway, I digress. That's another conversation for the Bulldogs, the marching Bulldogs and the Bulldogs of Durham High School. But nevertheless, I started very early understanding parliamentary law and how things could change and how things could be hemmed up. Hey, another story we're not going to talk about. This is about voting. This is about the belief in the vote. I believe in the belief of the vote. I believe in what the vote is supposed to do from a democratic standpoint of us uniting together. Having said that, I watched this documentary a couple of days ago on PBS. I need to find the name of it because I want you guys to know. I'm looking on my iPad for those of you that can't see what I'm doing because I want you to know the name of that the documentary. Hopefully my internet is going to work. So it's going to do what it needs to do quickly. You hear the sirens in the background, just ignore that. Anyway, I'll tell you as this is pulling up, I'll tell you what it was about. But it was about the Native Americans um, and how they are actually the creators of democracy here in the United States. What I said it. What I said it. I said it. I said it because this particular documentary actually showed how the White House and our democracy actually was coined off of the American, first Americans, as we would call them, but the Native Americans. Uh huh. Yeah. So I'm going to find that information, and I actually probably will do a show where I bring on some people that can talk about that more in depth because it was incredible. But I found out when my mom died from my cousin on my dad's side, who my back in the day we all just kind of grew up together, and mom's side, dad's side, we were just all family. And so anyway, my cousin Evelyn ended up telling us some history because I thought she was my mom's niece, and she was like, "No, I'm your dad, I'm your dad's niece." I was like, "What? But you were so close to my mother." Anyway, come to find out that we are, uh, of course, as we used to always say, "Oh, I'm part Indian," but I actually am. This is so exciting, Choctaw Indian. And so I'm interested to always know my heritage and to know history, right? History is not always nice. It's not always good. I mean, look at the African history. The it's not nice. It's not nice here in America. Africans and our African American heritage is not always nice, but history is what it is. And I always want to know that so that if it's not good, I don't repeat it and we don't repeat it, and that we grow and that we're stronger than where we came from as far as the bad. But there's a lot of good that we sometimes miss out on that we don't pay attention to. And to me, that's really important to be able to say, you mean to tell me once again, America, don't rob us of history. And that American, that Native American PBS show, I gotta find it. Hold on, people, because this is Native American Month, Native American Heritage Month. And so I wanted to bring that up because we need to honor those ancestors that have gone before us, right? What is the name of this thing? Hold on, you guys. Hold on. What's the name of it? Um, I think it's actually just on one of the episodes of Native American on PBS. I think so. I gotta find it. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, yeah, it's Native American, but it's a certain part of where they talk about how um, how the women, honey, y'all know we always come through how the women actually represent Congress and making some decisions about uh, who the chiefs were going to be. And that's a representation of Congress representing, what the president can and can't do and how they came together to stop all of the wars against independent tribes and how the tribes all came together for peace. And that's where democracy came from here in America. At least that's the story. But um, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. And even who was it? I can't remember which president, or was it Ben Franklin? Child, I'm just all over the place. Anyway, it was somebody doing something. I need to get the facts straight. But it was where they came in and saw how the Native Americans did things and how they handled things, and they mimicked that in Washington and Congress and our legislators and all of that kind of good stuff. But anyway, I'll find out details. I'll post that, and maybe I'll do a follow up when I bring some Native Americans on this show. I have some really great guests that are lining up. This has been a crazy week. I missed last Tuesday. My goal is to do it past scared. You know how they say do it scared. So I have not been afraid to do the podcast by myself, but what I have been is afraid that it's not perfect. Now I'm perfect. Y'all might not be perfect, but I'm perfect. But my podcast is not exactly where I want it to be, but it's where it needs to be. In other words, it's being done. And so my goal is to bring you really good information and really great guests when I do have guests and or really good topics that can help push you to your greatness or push myself to my greatness, because this show is for you and it's for me. Um, and I want to be able to talk about it on Tuesdays because it's Talk About It Tuesdays. Now, I didn't have tacos today. I will have tacos on some Tuesdays, but not all Tuesdays. I actually had a turkey burger. It starts with the T, so we're going to go with that, okay? We're going to go with the turkey burger on Talk About It Tuesday. Um, but I wanted to at least come on and be committed to bringing you good information. So I wanted to just encourage you first and foremost about voting. Definitely, I wanted to give shouts out to all my Native American kindred um, spirits, as well as people that I don't know. But definitely during this month, I want to honor those that are um, the legacy of Native Americans in this country. And I also wanted to tell you about travel, which I told you we were getting. Oh, I am getting ready to put together a really quick trip to Aspen, Colorado, and Breckenridge, Colorado. I have been wanting to go every year for the holidays on a sleigh ride. Honey, they have sleds like big old Santa sleds and horses, and I have not been able to get anybody to go. So, you know what? I am moving in a direction of I'm not waiting on anybody, and I'm not going to not do it if I'm in position. And so I have some really good sponsors that are sending me all across the world so that I can see places that they want to go to and that they can also promote their business. And so they're sponsoring me to go to different places. So, y'all, please don't come for me like, Jazzie, I thought you didn't have no money. I wish, podcast people, I wish y'all could see me. I wish y'all could see the fact that I'm looking in the camera like, don't come for me. Don't try to check me. Please don't. Because, honey, favor, the favor of God, and this is me. If you don't believe that, this is fine. But the favor of God on my life oftentimes overrules the finances in my pocket. I'm just saying. So, anyway, Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you so very much. And they will be on my travel vlog, but also you will soon start seeing the sponsorship for this podcast. So I'm really excited. It's a lot of great things happening for me in the midst of changing, in the midst of becoming this single vintage woman, honey. I don't say I'm old, I say I'm vintage. Because, girl, things vintage are wanted and fabulously unique. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, so I wanted to tell you about this Aspen trip. So, I always have wanted to go to Aspen and dress up like a snow bunny, like I'm gonna go skiing. But I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna look like I'm gonna do that. And then I want to go on the sled. So you guys are welcome to join join me on those trips. So I will be posting that hopefully this week. This week has been crazy. I have to go to Spokane, Washington, for the NAACP gala. And I am going to be out there with Kiantha, who is the president and rightfully so, the queen of the gala and or the NAACP, and she is amazing. When I tell y'all she is amazing, I can't wait to interview her and talk about the exciting things that she is doing there with a team of people who are just amazing. And so I can't wait to go and cover that event and enjoy that event. So I'll be able to tell you about that. But anyway, a lot of great things happening. I will be bringing you those updates as we go along. On the real estate tip, let me just say this. Honey, come close, y'all. Come close. Let me come real close. Okay, let me speak right directly into the microphone. There is a new saying, and actually it's not new, but it might be new to you, and I thought it was so wonderful. So I've been in webinars all week because there are programs specifically geared for African Americans right now. And that's not to say people of all ethnicities cannot buy a house with this company, but there is a program that has been specifically laid out for African Americans. Why? Because we continue to be shunned.
It's at 4.5. I
Oh, wait a minute, honey,
for
who
whatever reason,
talking?
I like
Oh,
5 seconds.
oh. Child, do y'all see that? Do y'all see I've been up at T-Mobile for hours and then my iPad just, hey, I just want to talk. Honey, let's talk about it Tuesdays, but you got to wait your turn. Anyway, so this particular program is geared toward African Americans specifically because we have been denied housing. We have been lied to. We have been cheated out of the quote unquote American dream. And so, since we have been denied and treated unfairly, there are programs now that are coming out that are specifically geared in areas where there's 51% more of African Americans living in that area, that these are programs through Legacy Home Loans with Mr. Ben Slayton. And he is the founder. He is actually the very first Black realtor in America, in the US. Can you just say yes, honey? Okay. So he's come up with wonderful, a wonderful program that is allowing um, African Americans to be able to get homes. And I'm going to break that down a lot more when I have my loan uh, originator come on, Dafina, who works, Dafina Miller, who works for Legacy Home. She's going to come and join us, and we're going to talk about that program. But nevertheless, here is the saying. For those of you that have been waiting and waiting, you've been waiting for the interest rate to go down, and the interest rate has been going up. Listen, the housing market has done what it does, which is a shift. It's now a buyer's market. Had we just talked 6 months ago, it was still a seller's market, meaning the prices of your house was 10,000, 20, 100, 2, 300,000 over asking price. And it was crazy. You couldn't find houses. They were going like in 10 minutes. They were going the night before we sold it. Anyway, The house we sold in March, the team I was on, so that we sold the house. The house had not even, it had been taken off the market, and then it had been put back on the market at a higher price. And then the house was sold for something crazy. So anyway, um, 1.575. Let me just tell you, $1.575 million. The house went for, and it went like seriously, it was crazy. Nevertheless, that house now they could have probably got it a little less, not a whole lot, because it's in a really great area. But the point I'm making is if you're waiting for your interest rates and you have the credit, you have the money, you have the financing, get the house. So here's the statement: marry your house and date your interests. Honey, isn't that the cutest? Nick Gauch, I think. Nick, don't get mad at me, but I think that's how you pronounce your last name. Um, marry your house and date your mortgage. What does that mean, Jazzie? Let me break it down. If you see a house that you qualify for, get the house, especially if it's not like if you're paying $3,000 in rent, that's 100% interest. I mean, you paying $3,000 a month. If you find a house, let's say you get the house for $2,800, you're saving a little bit, but let's say if you get it for 3,000, you're not losing anything. Rather, you're still gaining now because you have a house that you own. So now you're gonna get some benefits because you're a homeowner. Okay, hold that house for a minute, pay your bills. Guess what can happen in a year, 2 years? You can refinance, and that interest rate will have come down generally because what happens is your house price is up. That means your interest rate usually is low. Or when your interest rate is up, the house prices are generally lower. So you can get a great price, but they don't generally want you to have both. Honey, that ain't how the system wants you to. Anyway, so I'm going to have my guest on, but I just wanted to give you some quick tips, some quick love, and some shout outs on a few things here and there. Now, if I am incorrect in anything that I am saying, I will apologize and make the correction. However, this show is all about So Jazzy Homegirl's opinions and things that I want to talk about. So, if I have offended you in any way, that is your business and not mine. Definitely, it was not intentional. But that's how we're going to roll on this show. Now, I am going to post on another time the link so that you, if you want to join me here, you are able to do that on the Restream. I'm really excited about this platform and this opportunity to come to you because you know what? You don't have to take time to listen to me at all, period. But you are stopping by and showing your homegirl just a little bit of love. And I love you for it. And I appreciate you, baby, baby, baby. So we're going to end right here because I'm not going to hold you long, especially when I'm by myself and I don't have a whole lot to give you. But I did want to just come on briefly and just stop in and talk about it on Tuesday and love on you real good. Okay, so we're going to close on and we're going to one more time with our favorite, because we love this. So